Hi, I'm Steve Trine. I'm 68. I've been here in Keller since 1993, and I joined Rotary in Keller in 2001. I'm married. My wife's also in high tech, which is where I came from, and we have three boys, all adults, and two grandchildren. Have really been involved in Keller ever since we moved here, and really enjoy living in the city. I like to work with wood. I've got my leather working bench behind me. And then also, we like to go camping, usually go out a couple of times a month. That's basically where we're from. We have two dogs. So currently I'm the District 5790, the Rotary District, which encompasses, Fort Worth out west to Abilene and up to Wichita Falls. I'm the District Youth Exchange Officer, which basically means I'm in charge of the program for high school students to spend a year, or that's our long-term program, a year in the United States from a foreign country, or a year in a foreign country if they're from the U.S. And then we have a short-term program as well that is 2 to 4 weeks, and that's a kind of family-to-family exchange. So I decided to try and join Rotary in 2001. I had just been elected to the city council in Keller. I had also just left my position with Motorola and was taking the summer off. I had been involved in the community a lot up to that point, in coaching sports with my kids, and then also on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I just wanted to get more involved with the community leaders. At that time, we had basically the Masons, the Lions, and the Rotary, and it was clear to me that the group that most matched my personal outlook on life and stuff was the Rotary. Yeah, so the reason I decided to pick Rotary was because it was a service organization that really spoke to where I was from and where I wanted to be in terms of being in the organization, and the community leaders in the organization were also important. The Rotary clubs I've been involved in were both the Keller Club and the Golden Triangle Club. And in the Keller Club, the playground over by the library was originally a Rotary project, and it was rebuilt in the early 2000s again as a Rotary project in combination with the city. It's since been rebuilt again as strictly a city project. Also have been involved in the Mount Gilead Cemetery restoration, and Rotary, in combination with veterans organizations in the city, created the Veterans Memorial and the Veterans Monument at the corner of 1709 and 377, and I was actually the leader on that project for the first couple of years of getting it up and running. It was a Rotary Centennial project celebrating the centennial anniversary of Rotary in 2005, and it's been a great addition to the community, I feel. Well, it was an appreciation for what veterans do for us and what they've done for us, the sacrifices they've made. My father was a vet. Um, my uncles were World War II veterans. My father was a Korean War veteran. After I joined Rotary, I was still doing a lot of travel professionally, and I had the opportunity to do things like go to the Rotary Club in Singapore and in Hong Kong, and various other places, Lincoln, Nebraska. So seeing these Rotary clubs and being welcomed in other parts of the world made it clear to me that Rotary was very much an international organization. On the personal side, um, I've participated in some group study exchanges where people came to this country for a professional exchange, meeting people of their own professions here in this country. And then I've also been involved with the Rotary Youth Exchange, which is high school students on a cultural exchange for a school year. Both we've hosted, my youngest son went abroad for a year, and we've hosted 4 inbound students. I've been a counselor for others. I think that the youth exchange program is a very important one for Rotary in terms of its peace initiatives, and also in terms of building Rotary's reputation with the younger generation and getting them to think about it when they get older, think about it as an organization that they want to be involved in. So I think the youth exchange program for us, I've been in and around youth exchange since I was in high school, not necessarily Rotary, but other programs. And the experiences are really unique. They give me the opportunity to see my country and my environment, my community, through the eyes of somebody who's from another country, another culture, and doesn't really, everything that they see here is new to them. And it helps you understand a little bit about what your community actually is, because you have to explain it to somebody else. For my son, he went to Germany after he graduated from high school early and went to Germany for a year as a gap year. And he came home fluent in German, had an outlook on the world that was expanded because of his experience. He had a lot of experience over there with interacting not only with Germans but with other exchange students from other countries, and seeing how they saw the world in the United States, as well as showing them what the United States and our world was like through to them. So it's an ambassadorial program, and for us as host families, hosting kids, these students become part of our family. I've got 2 sons and 2 daughters now in 3 different countries, and they all still call me mom and dad. My wife and I, mom and dad, and they still stay in touch. And it's been more than 10 years since we hosted, so it's been a wonderful thing. Most of the kids that come over on exchange have done some studying of the U.S. and yeah, they do have some misconceptions, but it's really the people around them that have the misconceptions. Our Brazilian daughter came up here. Her teachers were trying to tell her she was going to be riding horses to school and everybody's going to be carrying guns and all this, and she kept telling them no. So of course she arrives here, and the first host family has a ranch out in Texas. And day one, she's out on their ranch. They're showing her how to shoot. They're showing her how to ride horses. So it was like, okay, this is what they were to be about, but I did expect. So that was kind of a surprise for her. Well, I think Rotary was a match for me because I had done a lot of international travel and I'd been exposed to diversity because of working with people from other countries. So it was more like it was just a fit for me because that's their attitude, that's part of their DNA as an organization. The ability to host students from other countries, the ability to meet people in other countries because I was a Rotarian, was huge. One thing that a lot of American Rotarians don't understand is that if you travel as a Rotarian and you show up at a Rotary club, you're immediately welcome. You're a Rotarian, you're a friend. And it opens a lot of doors in travel. It opens a lot of opportunities. Things like just traveling there, but you can also do things like dedicated international travel, whether it's for charity and service work or whether it's for conferences with other Rotarians. It's just a huge expansion of your world, and it's good to be part of Rotary in that because it means you always have a friend wherever you go. The most rewarding aspects of Rotary have been for me the community service, the international service, and the social aspect of Rotary. As a Rotarian in a Rotary club, we're a very social group. Most Rotary clubs are. They do a lot of things together. They do service projects together. They have social events together. And the Rotarians became part of our social life. Kept my wife interested in continuing to be in Rotary because it expands our social circle, and she likes that. I think that the satisfaction comes from knowing that as a Rotarian, my efforts and our efforts in service organizations, service projects in the community are the impact is expanded because we have the power of Rotary behind us. We have the ability as business leaders and community leaders to call in other organizations and get them involved, and it really broadens our reach and broadens our effectiveness. It expands on our effectiveness as a service organization. Part of the reason I joined Rotary in the beginning was because I was ending one phase of my career and I was going ahead looking for another one. I knew that Rotary was composed of community and business leaders primarily, and they've since then they've loosened up the mission requirements. If you have a service mentality and want to be part of the service to the community, then we accept you as a member, and that's helped us broaden our appeal to more members of the community who may not think of themselves as business leaders or community leaders. They really are. The aspect of Rotary that even most Rotarians don't really understand is the incredible reach of the organization. It's 1.4 million people around the world, and they're primarily business and community leaders. Generally have a lot of influence, whether it's formal or not. Because of that, they can be very effective, providing the necessary services, the necessary aid. And part of that is the Rotary Foundation. It's been for 15 years. It's been the most effective charitable foundation according to Charity Navigator. That's because the money that gets donated to Rotary not only goes out to a limit as allowable. I mean, there's some money that must be spent on accounting and stuff, but to the limit allowable, the money goes out to where it's needed. The important aspect of that is that the money goes to the local people who know what needs to be done and can get it done. So it doesn't go from the U.S. to some government official and way out in the middle of nowhere. It goes to the Rotary Club out there that knows what's needed, knows what's required, and can make sure that the money is used effectively. I think that the ideal candidate for Rotary is somebody who has a service mentality, somebody who wants to give back to the community, wants to do good things for the community. A lot of times there are even people who are working or have already started their own charity. What many of them don't realize is that if they're trying to get a charity up and running, Rotary can be a very effective and helpful organization to be part of because we have this long history of charitable work. We can help with funds, we can help with knowledge, we can help with expertise, organization. There are grants available through the district and through Rotary International to multiply the funds you raise. And all of those things can be important to small charities and also to service projects. I think that people who like to be involved with the schools, who like to be involved with community needs such as homelessness or playgrounds that need to be adaptable for people with different needs, different abilities. All of those things can be done through Rotary, and you can really expand your effectiveness by being part of Rotary. And we really don't want to make Rotary sound like it's just a nose to the grindstone and you're always working, because we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with the projects. We have a lot of fun socializing with each other. We have a lot of fun at our meetings. It's a great group of people. We just enjoy each other's company, and we enjoy doing what we do.